66 Clay and from the SRO Hotel. How is that in their best interest? You are giving them a drug source. You are giving them a place where they're going to be dealing up and down Clay Street. They're going to be going between the 3 facilities and all dealing back and forth between themselves. That is not helping the men you're bringing in. If you wanted to help them, you'd put them somewhere where they're not so close to other guys that are struggling too. The 3-quarter house at 66 Clay, the SRO Hotel on Manhattan Avenue and Clay Street, they're all 2 blocks, 1 block within each other. How are you helping these men, putting them all so close together? They're all going to be dealing up and down Clay Street. There are so many children on Clay Street. There are about 30 children on Clay Street. I have a 4-year-old son. There are a lot of children that play on Clay Street. How are you helping them when they're outside playing in the summertime and these guys are going back? There's already drug activity on Clay Street. But how are you helping them when now you're going to bring another 200 in for these children to deal with and to go back and forth up and down Clay Street?
So I think we've got to... So I think we've got to separate the issues.
No.
Whether or...
No, because we all live the same. We all live on...
Can I answer?
We live within these facilities. Because you're going to tell me that it's not related.
He's sad. Then can you give me a bite?
It's not helpful to put them next to each other.
Whether or not there's a shelter at 400 McGinnis is not going to make the Greenpoint Hotel any better. If the Greenpoint Hotel is a problem, and my understanding that the Greenpoint Hotel is a...
It's getting better. The Greenpoint Hotel is getting better.
Well, and so I'm glad to hear that, and I think that makes an important point, which your statements made me think about, which is we really need to be careful with the word all. Because not everyone at the Greenpoint Hotel, as this gentleman has just demonstrated, should be painted with a broad brush. Nor should every homeless person be painted with a broad brush. So, but to answer your question, I'm not looking to run away. If I was looking to run away, I wouldn't be here tonight. So, I'm going to answer your questions, whether you like the answers or not. 400 McGinnis is going to be a model program with model services for people who could easily find drugs anywhere in New York City if they wanted to. And so they're not coming here because they're looking for drugs. They're coming here because they're looking to stop using drugs. And so they come with motivation, and we support that motivation. That said, as someone who's committed to serving addicts in recovery and helping addicts get to recovery, the fact that there is a place allegedly involved with serious drug activity troubles me equally. And that is a problem that whether or not BRC ever opens a program here, I would want to work with you to solve. I want to work with you to deal with the issues and challenges of the people living on the streets of Greenpoint who are struggling with intoxication and alcoholism and addiction, and bring the resources that BRC has to bear. We are not just a program running a shelter at 400 McGinnis Street. We are an organization committed to serving and successfully serving thousands and thousands of homeless individuals struggling with addiction and illness and mental illness, and doing it well. And if we can help these individuals, we want to work with people in this community who want to work with us to help them.
Quiet, please. Quiet. One person at a time. Ma'am?
Thank you. My name is Mary, and as someone whose family was homeless for a short period of time when I was a child, I truly came here with a very open mind with what everyone had to say. So actually you segued perfectly into my question, which is the many men and women that are sleeping on the streets of Greenpoint and have issues with alcohol addiction. But from the process you described, it doesn't sound as though the people in our own community can knock on your door and get help directly. It sounds like they have to go to an intake center in Manhattan and then get bused back. And I'm not so sure that's realistic for most of those people. And my second question is, when they're not sleeping in your beds, where are all the people from around the city going to be during the day? So if you can answer those 2 questions, I'd really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. thank you for sharing. And so, for the folks in the neighborhood, there are resources, and we hope to bring more resources. The Department of Homeless Services, I know, funds a homeless street outreach program, and I know there are other community-based programs, not necessarily funded by the Department of Homeless Services, but working with the homeless people in the community. We are a resource to those organizations, and we want to bring our services to them. BRC doesn't have one front door. And we see these individuals as our brothers and sisters and people that we are interested in helping who, if they want the opportunity, you can't make somebody change who doesn't want to. You can only offer the opportunity. And so in a non-judgmental way, we offer the opportunity for a better life, for the opportunity to change, for the opportunity to get better. And we will help those people get to wherever they need to go. If they need to get into this program, through that intake process, we will get them into this program. I would suspect that many of them may want help but may not be ready to give up their alcoholism. We have programs like that at BRC, and we would welcome them into our programs. And in fact, there's been great success with some individuals. It is a long struggle for an individual, and it is a long struggle for a community that has people struggling with these challenges. It's not an overnight problem. We don't sweep people off the streets of our city, and I'm grateful for that, but I recognize the challenges that comes with that. But over the years, as the city has been investing in homeless outreach in a thoughtful way, people have left, because I've seen them in my programs, in our harm reduction programs, where people do not have to stop drinking to get in. We have had people from the streets of Greenpoint living in our facilities. So we will continue to do that. And so that's...
Just to clarify, but someone could go to this facility and you would take them in and put them through the process right there, or would you turn them away and say, first you have to go to the side?
We wouldn't turn them away. We would get them to the other place. When someone says to a BRC employee, I need help, I want help, and I want it now, we get that person help. And if we